Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever time of day you're viewing this. This is Hearthstone, Blizzard's new collectible card game. Electronically collectible card game, anyway. You do collect cards. Had this debate with a couple of friends. You don't trade them, so it's not a TCG, but since you collect them, we're probably safe for saying it's a CCG. It functions differently from a lot of card games. My understanding is it's quite similar to World of Warcraft. A little bit, maybe. But you can judge me on that later. I'm a Magic player by trade, so yeah, it's similar to that, but it has its differences. As you saw there were 9 different decks. You can have plural of them, but there were 9 different characters you can play, and they all have their own little personal power, 2 of which I'll be able to show you in a second. I play a rogue. It's rather fetishing blood elf assassin lady. This is a shaman. The not so fetishing orc. Well, Thrall, if you've got anything familiar with it. When the game begins, you either go first or second, obviously, but if you go second, you get an extra card and a bonus card you'll see in a second. This is the starting hand. You get to choose whether or not to throw some cards back in your deck for different ones, and I'm going to. Let me get rid of that. These are the mana costs, as you can see, and you get 1 mana a turn, usually. I'll explain that in a second, and 5 is quite high for a starting card, so I'll throw it away. I'll get him instead. I'll explain what all the abilities on the cards do as best I can, as quickly as I can in a second. This is the bonus card. You gain 1 mana crystal for that turn only. It's quite useful because you can jump ahead. I don't understand why you'd want to go first, really. The special powers are, this is mine, Dagger Mastery. I equip a 1/2 dagger, which I'll probably do at some stage in this game. I'll demonstrate it later. This is the Shaman's. He summons a random totem, which is a creature that does stuff. So I'm now going to play the coin, nice and early, which gives me 2 mana crystals. Here we have the guy I'm going to play, Forest Ringleader, great chum of mine. Combo, as it says there, a bonus if you've already played a card this turn, since the coin is a card, and it counts. So by fishing him out on turn 1, I get to trigger his bonus, and he brings a friend. Quite an aggressive first turn play, but I do play in a very aggressive deck. Technically, that could put me behind, but since my average mana cost is 2.5, I think I worked it out. I should be alright. As you can see, he's played this guy. He's fairly big, and I can't actually kill him. So what I'm going to do instead is ignore him. Unlike in Magic the Gathering, you can choose to ignore most of the creatures in play. And I'm going to summon her. Draws me a card, as you saw, when she comes into play. That's what Battle Cry means. Yeah, you can ignore most of them and attack the enemy character directly. And the benefit of this is you hurt them. The loss of this is their creatures don't get hurt. Fairly standard. Perfect! This is a chappie with Taunt. They're all fairly large and fairly good for their mana cost. I mean, 3/3 for 3 isn't bad. Taunt, as designated by that shield, means I have to attack him before I attack the enemy, well, anything else, really. You can only attack minions with Taunt when that is around them. So, I have to pick him up. My options are now limited to just this guy. The skull designates who's going to die in this trade. My guy looks like he's going to come out worse there. And he is, if I'm honest. So I will do it anyway. Because Fan of Knives deals 1 damage to all enemy minions, and I'll draw a card off it. Really good. My favourite thing. So I get a double kill there. Fantastic. And a card. Boom. Hit him again. 5 damage, turn 3. Not terrible. Yeah, I mean, drawing cards is my favourite mechanic in any game, really. I love having options. And I quite often, in Magic, run out of cards to play, or to draw and play. As I said, very aggressive. I'm not sorry about it. And he summoned a larger guy with Taunt, which is usually what happens when people get around to your smaller guys with Taunt. So I'm going to throw him back to his hand. And swing through anyway. This is the beta client at the moment, so sometimes you get this card stuck here when you've bounced something. I'll summon another one of those girls. Because, as I said, I love drawing cards. Yeah, you're only allowed 2 of each card in the deck, which is probably a good deck limit. Otherwise, I think you'd get out of control, because all the cards are really good value, which makes the game very quick. As I thought, he threw that guy back out. I can't really do much to kill him yet. Oh, I could. Right, here we go. The reason I like the Rogue deck above all the others is that its point removal is, in my opinion, second to none of them. I've not really played with all of them, actually. I've only played with 6, so can't say that confidently. But of the ones I have played, the spot damage and spot removal of the Rogue is beyond compare, which makes it really good for this kind of aggressive aggro play. He's got yet another one of them, and now he uses his power. You can only use that once per turn, and it always costs 2 mana. Now, interestingly, because he's got 2 guys with taunt, I can choose which one I want to attack. What am I going to do? I don't really have that many ways to kill them, unfortunately. So I'm going to do that. Which summons my dagger, sits here. You'll see it close when it's not my turn, so I can't do damage with it outside my turn, which is unfortunate. Use that to make it slightly better. Fan of Knives, deal 1 damage to their minions, drawing a card. Now I'm out of mana, so I can't really play around much. What I can do, using myself, run in like that, and I can trade 2 for 2. Oh no, I trade 1 for 2. Above value. I took damage when you attack a minion with your hero. I'm gesticulating, you can't see that because I haven't got the camera on. When you attack with your hero, you take the damage of whatever you hit. So it's a bit of a trade-off, but I find it's worth it. Again, more spot removal. As you can see here, my weapon is closed, but you can still look at it if you want. And you can see that you can't do anything here. Like, you don't get any mana crystals in not your turn, so you can't do anything in response. Oh, that's a very nice card. I haven't seen that before. It's very nice. Very big as well, which is a problem. But I'm going to hit it here. Bit of a risk. I do take 6 damage. It brings me down to technically losing. But I think it's worth it to remove that chappie from... with 2 of my spot removal. That was almost a misplay. With 2 more spot removal cards, both of which replace themselves. So I've got lots of options in my hand. And this one, combo card. When I cast it, after casting other cards, I get it back. So I can throw that out there. It does measly 2 damage, but it comes back to my hand when I end my turn. So that's basically how it goes. All of my guys I play for value, so they either create tokens, like him, or him, or him. Yeah. As you can see, quite a lot of them there. Because then you get 2 guys, and I'd rather have 2 guys, I think, than 1 big guy, because 1 big guy can suffer from like removal spells, like Assassinate you saw earlier. And everything else is either direct damage, damage to minions, or this chap, because he's absolutely fantastic value. We have yet another fire elemental. That's a little unfortunate. Can't really do much about that. But I can play my chappie with Taunt. I'm also going to play this. Deal 2 damage to an undamaged minion, so I have to do it now. I'm going to do it to him, so when he has to attack my guy, he should die. Should be in the operative term, because I can't guarantee it. Then I think I'm going to throw that out there. So I've got some dudes. In Magic, again, I wasn't a fan of creatures as a thing. I didn't really like them. They seemed a bit boring. I've readjusted my views. They're much better, in my opinion, now. I use them a lot. But in this game, I strangely just went straight for damage through minions. It seems more effective. Especially because the basic cards you get at the beginning, you don't... Oh, that's quite a nice play. Oh, 8-3. Ouch. Oh, what are you doing? Yes, fantastic news here. That's a very good card. Oh yeah, minions without an attack power, like you saw my frog a second ago, can't attack, which seems to make perfect sense. But it's kind of annoying. Occasionally I'd like to attack for 0. I can't come up with a reason why this would be good, but I feel it should be. Now I'm in a rather awful position here. So I'm going to just try to get dudes on board.
Squire, attend me.
Now, I could remove 2 of his other creatures here and safely trade like above my level, this 1-1 for that 2-1, but I really need him dead. Oh, I just got a dude with taunt, so I can't kill him. And I'm quite possibly dead next turn as a result. This isn't such a fantastic video. Then I'll trade above here. Unfortunately, I think he's going to do something clever with that Murloc. Now, because whatever's next to that gets +2 attack power, he can probably attack my Taunter with that for a massive 3 damage, and then when he dies, as a result, that will move forwards there and take more damage. He also has 10 mana crystals, so he could do something with his hand. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. I don't... what I also like about this game is you can see what they're looking at. And there you go. He's going to do that. They're going to trade. That gets bigger, so he's going to deal me 11 damage with the 2 remaining minions. Bam. So that's my first game. Not quite as impressive as I hoped. You get XP when you lose, which is good. But that's that. That's not quite Hearthstone. I'll play with a different deck now, but you get all of these different ones, and they have different powers depending. These pictures aren't actually a symbol for you know what their power is. It's actually the symbol for well, they're all taken from Warcraft 3, one of the best strategy games of all time, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to play my Warlock for you, I think. No, I'll do that in another video. That's Hearthstone 1. I'll try to win next time, be more impressive, and I might have some interesting cards. Who knows? Anyway, good morning, afternoon, evening, night. I hope you've enjoyed this very brief encounter with Hearthstone. Goodbye.